Welcome back, guys, to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, where, presenting evidence, we've made sure that Mr. Wellington is not getting away from this scot-free at this point in time. Mr. Wellington, would you please look at this? You mean the victim's autopsy report? According to this, the murder occurred at 6:28 p.m. So, what of it? You said that you called the police immediately after the murder took place. However, by the time you had called the police, it was already 6:45 p.m. There is clearly a 15-minute gap here. Do you deny it? Ah! I think this court would like to hear what you were doing during this 15-minute gap. You would.
The witness was in shock at the time after witnessing a terrible murder. It's only to be expected that he would be a little dazed.
Objection!
15 minutes is hardly what I would call a little dazed.
Nah!
Mr. Wellington,
Yes?
explain yourself. What were you doing during those 15 minutes? Answer the question. Telephone? Spit it out. I was searching for a phone booth. A phone booth? You mean you don't have a cell phone? You and your questions, as if you're trying to open all the layers of a matryoshka doll. You must think you're really something special. I had them in the house when I was a kid. Matryoshka dolls? Pronouncing wrong, of course, probably. Witness! I lost my cell phone. There! Are you happy? You lost it? Unbelievable! You use your glasses and your cell phone! You must be very scatterbrained when it comes to your belongings. What? Are you saying that first-rate people are never allowed to lose things? Haven't you ever heard that all geniuses have a strange quirk or do by all that rationale since I have my own quirk? I don't think simple, plain people like you can understand. Enough! Oh man. Oh man. Wait, hold on a second. He lost his cell phone?
Nick, that cell phone. Could it be?
You mean this phone Maggie found? There's no way. Boy, I didn't see this coming. What should I do now? Well, obviously we should question further. Mr. Wellington, where is your cell phone right now? What are you getting all excited about? You seem to be a little confused. I found my phone, I'll have you know. See, here it is. Oh, I see. Looks like he's got his phone. And I thought that just maybe this was his. They're literally identical, aren't they? Well then, I think we've cleared this issue up. At the time of the murder, the witness did not have his cell phone because he had lost it. Therefore, the delay in his call was caused by a search for a phone booth. Well, that's the gist of it. I guess you could put it that way and leave it at that. Do you have any further questions, Mr. Wright? I think there is something. Something within a picture. Your Honor, the witness's testimony does not make any sense. I don't believe that there was ever a need for the witness to search for a phone. How dare you!
Objection!
You can't just make outrageous claims like that. You do have some sort of proof, don't you?
Well, yeah, of course. This evidence should be good enough, I think. All right, let's have this proof then. Please present proof that the witness had no need to search for a public phone booth. Well, it's probably this photo exactly here, where we see that a phone booth is right there. That could be it.
Take that!
It's quite simple, actually. Please take a look at this. At the crime scene photo?
Is there a problem with it?
Well, come on. Oh, there's nothing wrong with the picture. But if you don't understand my logic after looking at it, something is wrong with you. No! It's a phone booth. That is correct. All the defendant had to do was walk 3 steps. So is Pokemon Go, tell us anyway, until they remove that. Mr. Wellington, why did you not use the phone that was right in front of you? That's a weird noise to make. Order! Order!
Witness reporting the crime and a late proof of the defense.
Objection!
The witness can't explain what he was doing for those 15 minutes. That is reason enough to throw suspicion on his testimony. Yes, this is very true. What do you have to say for yourself, witness?
And I bet this phone really is his, Nick. He must have killed Dustin to get his phone back.
But Maggie said that she was going to return it to him, so there was no reason for him to kill for it. And on top of that, we still have the phone she found anyway. But if he wasn't looking for his cell phone, maybe he was looking for something else? Was he? Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor?
do you have any thoughts you would like to share with the court? Can you offer an explanation as to what the witness was doing during those 15 minutes?
Well, if he wasn't searching for his cell phone, someone, or more to the point, someone has had his vision put into doubt. Let's say it that way.
I have an idea. There is only one possible explanation. All right, let's hear your explanation. However, be forewarned that if your explanation is not persuasive, you will be penalized. Think carefully before you present, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. I probably shouldn't have said there was only one possibility.
Please present to the court the one piece of evidence that will answer the following. Why didn't the witness call the police right away?
Because he was searching for his glasses, Mr. Banana Gloves.
Mr. Banana Gloves, Richard Wellington. Mr. Wellington. What? Don't do that. You almost gave me a heart attack.
These are your glasses, aren't they?
Ah, where did you find?
Ah, yeah, you're an idiot. I believe the court all heard what you just confessed to. Well, that these glasses are in fact yours.
I'll tell you where they were found, Mr. Wellington.
These glasses were found under the victim's body.
Under the victim's body? Order! Order! No, wait a second, hold on! I didn't confess or confirm anything!
Your Honor, I think the answer is quite clear here. As he fell, Dustin Prince grabbed the culprit's glasses. The culprit knew that he had to find his glasses and searched frantically for them. But what he didn't realize was that they were under the victim's body.
And that is why it took him 15 minutes to make that call. Mr. Wright, are you indicting the witness as the real murderer?
Of course, that is precisely what I'm doing. He's the master of making weird noises, but if you strangle yourself, that's what will happen.
I know I'm right. He is the real murderer.
Did you figure it out, Nick?
More or less.
Turns out this cell phone was the key to this case after all.
Anyway, now is our chance to deep six this guy. Sink him in one shot.
Yeah! This is so exciting, watching you work again. Somehow my old self is coming back to me. It's time to sink or swim. Everything rests on the edge of a knife.
This is the moment I've been waiting for. Order! Order!
Your Honor, the defense is making a mockery of this court. Without any solid ground to stand on, he accuses the witness of being the murderer.
Yeah, that's right. I'm no criminal. This third-rate fraud of a lawyer.
In that case, why don't we look at it from a different perspective?
Let's hear your explanation as to why you were not the murderer.
Why, that's easy.
For example, there's the name the victim wrote. What about that? Oh, you mean the name Maggie? Yeah, even an idiot like you can read that, right? But we already know this was not written by the victim himself. After all, the defendant's name is Maggie, and the victim was left-handed.
In other words, in order to make the defendant look guilty, the real criminal used the victim's right hand to write her name on the ground?
But, wouldn't that mean that the real criminal was someone the defendant knew? Otherwise, how else would that person know her name was Maggie? Maggie!
That is a good point. The witness didn't even know of Miss Bird before this trial.
I forgot. Was there any way this creep could have known Maggie's name beforehand? There definitely was a way. It would be best if I could prove that the witness had a chance to learn that the defendant's name was Maggie.
And now, will the defense please present its case? How could the witness have known the defendant's name?
Via the cell phone that Maggie was trying to return to a certain someone, I'm pretty sure.
Take that!
Mr. Wellington, you didn't have your cell phone with you on the day of the murder, correct?
So what if I didn't?
When you realized you had lost it, what did you do?
What did I do?
Didn't you try to find it by calling it?
Why, you... How did you...
Your Honor, these questions have nothing to do with...
Overruled! Mr. Wright, where are you going with this line of questioning? Do you think there is some relation between the witness's cell phone and the murder?
I do, Your Honor. On the day of the murder, Maggie Bird picked up a lost phone in the park. And she also received a phone call from the owner of the phone. Hello? Oh, thank you. I've been searching for my phone. Is this yours? Oh, I'm glad you called. We can meet up and I can give this back. I'll be right there. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. You can call me Maggie.
That was when you learned that her name was Maggie.
But you made one fatal mistake.
Fatal mistake?
My client's name is Maggey, but the name that was written on the ground was Maggie with an IE.
This is a mistake that could only occur if all you knew was how her name sounded. Order! Order!
But, Your Honor, the witness has no motive.
And your point is?
It's very simple, Your Honor. A person usually would not kill someone without a reason. Mr. Wellington had no reason to kill anyone.
That is absolutely correct. I don't have a motive.
Mr. Wright!
Your Honor?
Can you explain what motive this witness could have had?
It's very simple, Your Honor. Are you sure, Nick? If I said I can't offer an explanation, then the trial's over, right? Yeah, but...
Now then, please present to this court proof that the witness had a motive.
This is where the problem begins, because if I think it's right in saying... We never actually checked this out, by the way. A list of con artists and their phone numbers stored on the cell phone Maggie found. I don't think that is necessarily the motive. I think the main motive could be... Maybe? Now, the pictures that we've seen of Maggie in the park have had Maggie off duty and in normal clothes, civvy clothes, I guess you would put it as, and Justin, or Dustin even, in police uniform. Now, if a police officer come along, plus mixed with this list of names that we can't really check, and their phone numbers, but it lists of phones, you could maybe give a little bit of a... So is it the fact that the reason to murder was the name list, maybe? That he was on that? Or was it that a police officer showed up and he was a bad guy, considering those are the two things we've got recently? We could try one. I don't mind if I get a negative strike. I mean, if it happens, it happens, more or less. Should we go with the names list? Or the fact that he's a police officer?
Take that!
Mr. Wellington's motive is right here. What is this? A list? These phone numbers were pulled from the memory of the phone the defendant found. And we have determined that the people on this list are members of a certain group. Basically, the only reason I get this right, by the look of it, is because of the fact that in the first episode, or the first trial, there's such a limited amount of evidence that it literally just follows on. I wasn't sure of what I was really doing, but thankfully, Phoenix himself, the game itself, and the amount of evidence that we have leads me to a correct answer. You looked up all those numbers? Of course. This list of phone numbers was stored in the cell phone's memory. The names and numbers belong to people who are members of a certain con artist group.
What? Con artists?
Can you explain why these numbers were on your phone, Mr. Wellington? This is an outrage! An invasion of privacy! Looking up phone numbers on a person's phone is a worse crime than murder! You're one of those people. You're just like the cops who raided that brilliant artist. They disrupted the genius work and interrupted his... I don't care, Mr. Wellington. All I want is for you to tell us what this list is about. You think any of you know what it's like to be a refined man such as me?
Your Honor, this is unjustified badgering of the witness.
Objection overruled. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? Why would the witness have the number to a group of con artists on his phone? Isn't that obvious? The witness is looking into the group, a victim of that group, or a member of that group. Mr. Wellington is a member of this very group. No! All of your friends' phone numbers are stored right here on this phone. If anyone were to look into these phone numbers, it would be all over for you. That is why you had to kill. No! This is too much! That does make quite a bit of sense. Well, Mr. Wellington, would you care to explain? I got you now. That police officer.
Objection!
Your Honor,
What is it, Mr. Payne?
Your Honor, this is unjustified badgering of the witness.
You said that. You said the exact same thing only a few seconds ago.
Please, let's think about the content of that phone call.
Hello? Oh, thank you. I've been searching for my phone. Is this yours? Oh, I'm glad you called. We can meet up and I can give this back.
The defendant had already promised that she would return the phone. After that, all Mr. Wellington had to do was meet Miss Bird to get his phone back. Why then would he need to kill anyone?
Well, I think we answered this a couple of minutes ago, don't you? That is a valid point. What does the defense think about this? If you think about it logically, then it makes sense. Then maybe we should be thinking outside the box. Yeah, we think like that. Let's see. Maybe that slimeball saw something at the crime scene that made him commit murder. Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? Well, I don't think Mr. Wellington went to pick up his phone in a very friendly manner.
But he was promised his phone, so why would he have been unfriendly to the defendant?
I think he must have seen something that didn't agree with him when he got there. Well then, Mr. Wright, what was this something that didn't agree with the witness? I think you'll know that we're right on the spot here. We're saying Dustin Prince. But we'll deliver this as a little bit of thing next episode. Join me then for more Phoenix Wright
Ace Attorney, as I think we're very much on the Phoenix Wright track. Excuse the pun. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.